If you really want to understand how much the Second World War shaped the modern world, don't look at the battlefields. Look at your kitchen, your closet, your car, and even the medicine cabinet. Because, buried under the rubble of the 1940s are technologies you still rely on every single day. Tools invented not out of comfort or convenience, but out of desperation, scarcity, and a global scramble for survival. These innovations weren't just wartime flukes. They quietly transformed into everyday essentials, the kind of things we use so casually now that people have completely forgotten where they came from. But each one has a story, usually born on a front line, a laboratory racing against time, or a factory floor under blackout conditions. Here are 7 of the most important ones. Duct tape, born from the ammunition crisis. When American soldiers kept losing precious seconds opening waterproof ammunition boxes, an Illinois mother working in a factory wrote the military with a suggestion: use a strong cloth adhesive that could be torn by hand but seal out water. The military adopted it, created a green rubber-based tape, and issued it across the Pacific and European fronts. Today it's silver. Today it fixes everything from pipes to backpacks. But its origins are wartime, purely practical, born from the need to keep ammunition dry under fire. And the reason it stuck around is simple. Nothing else matched its versatility. What soldiers used to seal ammo boxes, you now use to seal up the universe. Before the Second World War, pens leaked at altitude. When pilots climbed thousands of feet, the pressure change forced ink out of traditional fountain pens. The European aviation industry needed something better, something that wouldn't explode ink all over flight instruments. Laszlo Biró's design, using a rolling ball and quick-drying ink, solved the problem instantly. Air forces snapped it up. Wartime contracts turned it from a clever idea into a global manufacturing revolution. And after the war, the ballpoint pen became the standard for the entire world. Next time you reach for a pen, remember, it was perfected so a pilot wouldn't smear ink across the controls during combat. Pressurized canned food, built for the front lines. Canned food existed before the Second World War, but the way we store, sterilize and pressurize it today comes directly from wartime engineering. Soldiers needed compact meals with long shelf lives, resistant to heat, moisture and shock. Factories perfected the double seam method, rolling the lid and can together to form an airtight seal that modern food companies still use. Peaches, ham, beans, condensed milk, those wartime rations created the global canned food industry we rely on for emergency supplies, camping, survival kits, and, well, everyday cooking. The next time you open a can of soup, you're using 1940s battlefield engineering. Superglue, discovered by accident, deployed by medics. Chemist Harry Coover wasn't trying to invent an adhesive. He was actually looking for plastics for gun sights. Instead, he stumbled onto cyanoacrylate, the active chemical in modern superglue. At first, the military considered it too sticky to use, then realized that being too sticky is exactly what made it valuable. During the Vietnam War, it was used to close battlefield wounds, but its development and early testing began in World War II labs, funded by wartime budgets and military research priorities. Today, it's in every drawer, toolbox and glove compartment. But its roots, well, they lie in the urgent demands of wartime medical improvisation. Aerosol spray cans, miniature chemical warfare dispensers turned household staples. Wartime chemists needed a portable way for soldiers to spray mosquito repellent, something that didn't leak, didn't require electricity, and could withstand rough handling. Their solution was the first mass-produced, pressurized spray can. After the war, companies repurposed the same technology to sell deodorant, hairspray, paint, cooking oil and cleaning products. The global aerosol industry, now worth billions, began as a simple frontline tool to protect soldiers from malaria in the Pacific. Jeep-based 4x4 technology, your car's DNA, you know, actually goes all the way back to 1941. If you drive a modern SUV, well, you're using a World War II invention every single day. Four-wheel drive existed before the war, but honestly, it had never been standardized, mass-produced, or really refined for proper field use. That all changed when the US military demanded a light, agile and durable vehicle that could climb rough terrain ford streams, survive long-distance transport and carry gear, stretchers, radios, as well as weapons. The result was the Jeep. Its drivetrain, suspension concepts and rugged frame design became the template for post-war civilian vehicles. The entire modern off-road industry, from Land Cruisers to Wranglers, traces back to this wartime invention. Every time your car hits a dirt road, thank 1941. The microwave oven, born from radar experiments. While working on magnetrons for Allied radar systems, engineer Percy Spencer noticed a chocolate bar melting in his pocket. Instead of ignoring it, he investigated. High-frequency radar waves, it turned out, heated food extremely efficiently. The result was the first microwave. The earliest models were, well, huge and expensive machines, mostly found in restaurants and hospitals. But the technology, refined from those radar tubes used to detect planes, eventually shrank into the countertop appliance that, honestly, almost every modern kitchen now has. A tool that began as a weapon detection system is now, quite remarkably, reheating leftovers worldwide. World War II still shapes your daily life, you know. Every item on this list, your pen, your tape, your car, your canned food, carries the fingerprints of a war that ended 80 years ago. These weren't just military innovations. They were honestly turning points in global manufacturing, chemistry, engineering and logistics. Wartime urgency, well, it forces rapid solutions. And when the world finally settles down, those solutions don't disappear. They slip quietly into civilian life and, before you know it, just become normal. You use World War II inventions more often than you realize. In some cases, honestly, dozens of times a day. The war ended, but its innovations never left. If you want more deep-cut history like this, Do consider subscribing, share the video, and keep exploring stories most people never hear, but every serious history buff deserves to know.